Metatrader is the most widely used trading platform in the retail space. It's made by a company called Metaquotes and it's been around since the early 2000s. It comes in two different flavors, Metatrader 4 and Metatrader 5. You can use it in a desktop application, you can use it in a browser-based web format, or even as an app on your phone. Oh, and despite being somewhat old in technological terms, to this day it remains the most popular Forex trading platform around. Hi, I'm Nick Quinn from howtotrade.com. Thousands of traders use Metatrader every single day. But aside from just hitting the buy or sell button, there are a number of different tricks, shortcuts, and hidden features that either get missed or underutilized by most traders all the time. So if you've never used MT4 before, the first thing you're going to need to do is download a demo copy of the platform. Normally that's done through registering for free demo accounts with brokerages. There's a link in the description section below to one of our partner brokers. They are Switch Markets. Dead easy to download it from here. Just head over to the website, click on the link, and just go to Get Started and click that button there. Try a free demo. Pop in your details, and then they'll send you all the link and everything. You can download a copy of it. So the first thing that I want to run through in terms of what is cool about MT4 is some of the keyboard shortcuts. There's quite a few to choose from, and when you're sat in front of the platform day after day, you do tend to need keyboard shortcuts because you're utilizing the platform constantly, and some of the things to be able to fluidly move around the software, yeah, you do need to understand a few of the basic ones. So this is one of the main ones that I use all the time, and that is toggling this little panel off here, the quick order buttons, which are useful for entering the market quickly if you need to, but quite often I find it quite distracting because when you're looking at a broad view of the market and you're looking at several things at once, it's always changing from red to blue, and it's nice to be able to just look at a clean chart occasionally. So the keyboard shortcut for that one is just hitting Alt-T. Just hit that and that toggles it on and off, as you can see. Super useful, use it all the time. The second one is using Control-L. That is where you can show the volume. It's sometimes good to look at volume. If you ever do that on any of your charts, you can see at the bottom here, and then you have to sort of right click and then toggle it on and off, particularly if you've got your chart set up so some of the candles might actually bleed into that volume. That's really irritating. Just hit Control-L and that gets rid of it, and that's really cool. That's really super useful. Next one is another one that I find I'm using all the time, and that is Control-Y. That toggles on and off the period separators. So you can see here this is a 1 hour time frame, and it's nice to be able to see where today started and yesterday finished. That is really a useful thing to see from a market analysis point of view. But quite often when you start scrunching the charts up, if you want to look at a big picture or you want to sort of really step out from the price action, it starts to look a little bit messy. So just hitting Control-Y gets rid of that for you, so you can see a nice clean chart. The options panel is one of those parts of MT4 which I tend to dip into on a fairly regular basis, and rather than clicking around the menu, it's good to be able to just get quick access to it for one very simple reason, which I'll show you now. If you hit Control-O, that brings up the options panel. You'll find a lot of the important settings for MT4 are all listed within this area. And one thing that I tend to use quite a lot is this button here, which is only housed inside the options window, and that is to show trades. Toggle the actual trades that you've got in the market, toggle those on and off. So if I just deselect it there, you can see that that gets rid of that on the chart. Now, if you are trading with a lot of positions on that is very useful sometimes to do. You just want to get rid of that so you can see a clean picture of the market. It's a great little workaround. The next one, which is really useful, although I don't tend to overuse it because I tend to leave it off all the time, and that is Control-G. I've never ever in 15 years of trading liked the grid structure on MT4. I love the platform, but I don't like the grid. I've never used it. I've never liked it. I'm sure that some people get used to the way that sort of looks. It just looks very busy for me. You can change the colors and that type of thing, but it's usually whenever I download a copy and I've got MT4 running in the background, first thing that I do, Control-G and just get rid of that grid. The last keyboard shortcut that I want to share with you is Control B. This opens the objects window. Quite often when you're putting lines on the charts and then you want to sort of go in and change some of those details, sometimes that can be quite fiddly if you've got a lot of stuff on the chart. If you hit Control B, it brings up the entire list of everything that you've been working on. All of the lines, all the text, the arrows, the boxes, the shapes that you've been using, that's all on there for you. So that's a great way to get very precise access to everything that you're working on. One of the features that MT4 offers, which is very much underused, is the profile section. That is basically where we take any asset classes, we put any number of items or windows or structures of how we want to see the market, build that onto the screen, and we save it as a structure, as a window, as a format for us to be able to return back to. And that is usually generally all accessible up here in the top left-hand corner under the File menu here. If you just scoot down there, you'll see this here, Profiles. We've got Next, Previous, Save As, Remove, and these are the current ones that are in there. So if I hit any of these, you'll see that our layout for our windows changed. There's a keyboard shortcut for that as well, which is Shift F5. That cycles through them. And all you can basically do, you can see here, if I just tile these out, I've got 3 views, 3 time windows looking at the actual euro against the dollar. So I've got a 15-minute chart, and then I've got a 4-hour chart, and then I've got a daily chart here in front of me. So you can organize your workspace however you want. That could be by asset classes, by time frames, maybe with different indicators on, a whole different way of doing it. You can then cycle through those, store them, so you can get very quick access to different types of setups that you want to work with on a day-to-day basis. And if you then cycle through with Shift F5, that brings up the different ones that you've used. So you get a very, very slick way of working with a lot of different markets in a very controlled, easy to access way. The next feature that I want to share with you is something that I didn't know for a very, very long time. And I used to spend huge amounts of my time and energy mapping in exactly where I had traded some of my positions and then drawing them manually on the chart. You don't need to do that. This is a super, super cool trick if you've never seen it before. If you go down to your account history down here, and I've just got a few demo trades on here. If you highlight the trade that has been completed, these are not live trades, these are historical trades. If you pick it up and you drop it on the chart, you'll see that it actually puts that trade onto the chart for us, which is amazing, where you bought and where you sold, or where you sold and where you bought. And it will put the stop loss placement and the take profit targets on there as well. It's incredibly useful to be able to see in terms of when looking how you've been trading in the market. I used to spend huge amounts of time looking at the account window, the account history window, and then finding out exactly where I had bought and sold, so I could go back when I was doing my trade reviews and see exactly where I went into the market and then where I came out and then what the market did. So understanding that, literally all you need to do is pick it up and drop it on the chart. The final feature that I want to share with you is possibly my favorite, and it is super cool. If you've never seen it before, I think you're going to love it. And that is the way that you can pipe automatically prices from Metatrader into Microsoft Excel. This is live prices as well. It's very, very cool. All you basically need to do, every copy of Metatrader, when it downloads onto your C drive in your programs folder, if you find that folder, you can see here that I found the Switch Markets Metatrader 4 terminal folder. Click in that, you'll see a spreadsheet. It's pretty old. You see this one was originally from Excel 97 to 2003. It's called DDE sample. If you double click that, it will open up and it will ask you to activate the link. And you can see it gives you this test example here. It's amazing. You can actually now see the bid and the ask price, the high and the low, and the time, actually for any particular asset class that you want, actually live updating in Microsoft Excel. So if you're running any position sizing models, or you're doing anything algorithmically, or you want to analyze, or you want to use Excel in some capacity in a live function with Metatrader and look at the live prices in Microsoft Excel, this is the most amazing tool, and there's hardly anybody actually knows about it. You can see here the way that it actually works. You can obviously build your
own spreadsheets and put the links in there. But you can, if you click on any of the live cells, you can see the format of what it actually gives you. There's one aspect of this which is a little bit more complicated to understand. If you open that sheet and it doesn't start updating in live prices, obviously assuming that the market is over, what you'll need to do is go back to Metatrader, press Control O to open the options panel, and what you want to make sure is that this is enabled. Click on server and make sure that enable DDE server is operating. Close down Excel, open it up again with that spreadsheet, and it should allow you to update it, and then the live prices should be there.
So as you can see, there's more to MT4 than just drawing lines of support and resistance. For me, it's like the Photoshop of trading, the industry standard, and I've always loved using it. I hope there was something in there that you might not have considered before. Please do let us know in the comments below if there's a particular feature of MT4 that you find especially useful. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this, and hit the bell to be notified every time we upload. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.